Hi mga kawamat! In this video, we will discuss factoring polynomials. So this is just a review on how to factor polynomials. So we have different ways in factoring polynomials. But first, we will divide this into three. So in this video, we will focus on factoring by GCF and common monomial factor, factoring difference of two squares, and factoring the sum and difference of two cubes. So, sa next video tutorial natin, magpo-focus naman tayo sa factoring perfect square trinomials and factoring general trinomials of the form x squared plus bx plus c. And then sa part 3 po natin, sa ating next tutorial is factoring by grouping and factoring general trinomials of the form ax squared plus bx plus c. So, in this video tutorial, we will focus on the part 1. So, ito po muna ang i-discuss natin. Kaya abangan po ang part 2 at part 3 for the continuation. Okay, so let's start. So, what is the greatest common factor? So, or the GCF. Ito yung tinatawag natin GCF o madalas natin ginagamit kapag nagfa-factor tayo ng polynomials. So, it refers to the common factor having the greatest numerical factor and with variables having the least degree. So, kukunin natin yung common factor sa kanilang dalawa and then kukunin natin yung mataas. Okay? Pagdating naman sa variables, ang kukunin natin ay yung mababa ang exponent, yung pinakamababa ang exponent. Let's have an example. So, if I have 6x squared and 15x raised to 4, so again, kunin muna natin yung common factor ni 6 at ni 15. So, ito yung mga factors nila. I-list natin ang factors ni 6 at 15. Hindi pa pala common. So, lista muna natin lahat ng factors ni 6 at 15. We have 1, 2, 3, 6. And then sa 15, 1, 3, 5, 15. Okay. So, after listing the common factors, the factors, ano ang gagawin natin? Kukunin natin yung greatest numerical factor. So, ano yung common sa kanilang dalawa? So, ano yung factor ni 6 at na meron sa 15? Pero take note, dapat ang kukunin natin ay yung greatest. So, pareho silang may 1. Pareho silang may 3. So, ang kukunin natin ay yung greatest, which is 3. Okay? Now, pagdating naman dun sa variable, paano naman natin kukunin o pipiliin yung sa may variable? Kukunin po natin yung may pinakamababang degree, and that is, so ito ay squared, ito ay fourth power. So, ano ang kukunin natin? Yung mababa, which is squared. Okay. So, kunin natin yung common factor, which is 3, and then yung x squared. So, that is 3x squared. The GCF of the given is 3x squared. Okay. Another way is by prime factorization, no? So, ito pwede rin ito. Pero ang ilalagay lang natin ay yung mga prime numbers. Okay? So, this is another way, ha? Ito, nilista mo lahat ng factors niya. Ito, ang gagawin mo dito naman, ilalagay mo lang yung factors niya na prime. So, kagaya nito, ang factors ni 6 ay 2 times 3. And then, yung 15 ay 3 times 5. Okay. And then, si x squared and then x raised to 4. So, same procedure. Kunin natin yung common. And then, kunin natin yung may mababang, yung variable na may mababang exponent. So, that is still 3x squared. So, we have two ways in finding the GCF of monomial. Okay. So, let's have an example. Negative 8x squared y and 16xy. So, let us find the GCF. So, again, lagay natin lahat ng kanilang factors. So, si 8, I have 2 times 2 times 2 because this is 8. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. And then for 16, 2 times 2, 4 times 2, 8 times 2, 16. So, these are the prime factors of 8 and 16. Okay? So, ano pong gagawin natin dito? Dun naman sa x squared, so copy lang natin si x squared at si x, and then yung pareho nilang y. Ayun. Now, kukunin natin yung common sa kanila. So, pareho silang may tig-tatlong 2. Okay, so ito, hindi mo pwede isama kasi wala na siyang 2 dun sa isa. So, pareho silang may tatlong 2. Now, pagdating dito, ano nga ang sabi ko, kukunin natin yung may mababang exponent. So, since ito ay 2, ito ay 1, so kukunin natin si x. Pagdating dito, since pareho namang 1 ang exponent nila, so, kukunin, yun din ang ating kukunin, yung y. Okay, so kunin natin yung tatlong 2 since yun ang common sa kanila. And then kunin natin si x at si y. So 2 times 2, that is 4 times 2, that is 8xy. So the GCF of negative 8x squared y and 16xy is 8xy. Next. I have 8ab cubed and 10a squared b squared. So, lagay natin lahat ng prime factors niya. So, 2. Ganun din, kagaya dito sa kabila. And then sa 10, 2 times 5. So, we are listing yung prime factors, no? Pag prime factors, ito yung, ang ilalagay mo lang na factors ay yung, ang tanging factors niya lang ay 1 and itself. So, yun ang tinatawag natin prime. So, ito po. So, sa 10, we have 2 times 5. And then, just copy all the literal coefficient, yung a at yung b cubed, and then yung a squared, and then yung b squared. Okay. So, anong meron dito na meron dito? Pareho silang may 2. Eto ba isasama natin? No, kasi wala nang isa pang 2 dito. Si 5 ba isasama natin? No, kasi wala namang 5 doon. So, eto lang yung meron sa kanila. Okay? Na common. Pagdating sa a, variable, kukunin natin yung may mababang exponent. So, ito yon. And then sa b naman, kukunin natin yung mababa, that is b squared. Okay, so kunin natin lahat. Isang 2, may a at b squared. So, multiply natin to. So, 2ab squared. So, this is the GCF of 8ab cubed and 10a squared b squared. Next. In factoring polynomials, we are actually rewriting a polynomials as a product of polynomials of smaller degree. Okay? So, pag nagpa-factor tayo, nire-rewrite lang natin siya as a product of polynomials na may mas mababang degree. So, parang nawawala dito yung mga exponent, no? Kasi ang goal natin is pababain yung degree. Okay? So, let's try this one. So, if I have here a polynomial, so this is actually what kind of polynomial? This is binomial. Kasi we have 2 terms. So, I have 4x squared plus 6x. So, kagaya ng ginawa natin kanina, how to get the GCF. So, kunin natin yung common sa kanila. Ito ay 2 times 2. Ito ay 3 times 2. So, therefore, the GCF is 2. Okay? Kasi pareho silang may 2. And then, kunin natin yung may mababang exponent. So, that is x. So, this is the GCF. Now, yan ang gagawin nating common monomial factor niya. So, kapag magpa-factor na tayo, yung GCF ang gagawin nating common monomial factor. So, paano nakuha itong nasa loob ng parenthesis? Okay? You may apply the concept of distributive property. Okay? So, ito yon. Paano natin nakuha yung 2x dito? Bakit 2x ang nasa loob? Kasi 2 times 2, that is 4. And then x times x, that is x squared. Okay, just like here. Kaya siya 3 kasi 2 times 3, that is 6. And then x, isang variable lang tayo. Okay, next. I have 3x squared plus 6x. So, ano ang GCF natin dito? Ito ay 3. Okay, ito ay 2 times 3. So, ano ang meron sa kanilang pareho? 3. Pareho silang may 3. And then, kunin natin yung mababa, ang exponent. So, that is x. Okay? So, therefore, this is our common monomial. So, 3x. Lagay natin siya dyan. Paano ulit kukunin ito? So, ita-times natin siya. Hanapin natin. So, 3 times, ito ay 1 actually, yung coefficient yan. So, 3 times 1, that is 3. And then, dalawang x, that is x squared. Okay? And then, 3 times 2, that is 6. And then, x, since meron tayong isang variable. Okay. So, this is how we get the factors doon sa ating parenthesis. Next, 6x raised to 4 minus 14x squared. So, what is the GCF here? So, ito ay 2 times 3. Ito ay 2 times 7. So, pareho silang may 2. Okay? And then sa variable natin, kunin natin yung mababa, and that is x squared. So, this will now our 2x, our common monomial factor. Ito ang gagamitin natin, yung GCF. So, 2x squared. And then, just like what we did here and here, so, para makuha natin ito, 2 times 3, that is 6. Okay? Or pwede rin namang 6, divide 2, para makuha mo yan, 3. And then, x raised to 4, if you can still recall the laws of exponent, x raised to 4, divide x raised to 2, that is x squared. Pwede rin naman yon, mag-times ka or reverse, i-divide mo siya. Okay? So, next, we have, ito rin. So, 14 divide 2, that is 7. And then, x squared divided by x squared, makakancel na yan, kaya 7 na lang. Now, since this is subtraction, so this is minus. Okay? Next. So, what if we have 4x squared plus 6x? So, pwede tayong mag-apply dito ng distributive property. So, this is just the same as example yung nasa previous slide natin. So, I'm gonna show you a different way of factoring polynomials. So, ito, isa pa to sa mga paraan, no? So, use the GCF to rewrite the polynomial. So, pwede nating i-rewrite ang polynomial as 2x times 2x plus 2x times 3. Okay? So, ito rin yung kagaya sa previous slide, but I am showing you the detailed solution. Okay? So, ito po siya, 2 times 2, that is 4, and then x times x squared, and then dito, 2 times 3, that is 6, and then x. Okay? So, now, ang gagawin natin, since common nila to, so, ang gagawin natin, ito na siya. Yan ang magiging common monomial natin. So, 2x, and then just copy. Ayan, copy nyo lang po yan. So, 2x, ito siya. And then, copy lang natin ito. Ito ang ilalagay natin sa loob ng parenthesis. And also, your operation, which is plus. Another. So, the GCF is 3x. So, kopyahin lang natin yung 3x. Ayun siya. And then, yung x plus 2, ayun po siya. Okay. Another way, ito po siya. So, copy lang natin to. After nating makuha yung yung GCF niya, kukopyahin lang natin siya. Tapos ito, copy lang din natin si 3x squared and then 7. So, ayun, minus. Okay? So, next. So, paano kapag meron kang ganito? Baliktad naman. Ang binigay sa atin, ito. Ang hahanapin mo is yung factors niya na yung factors niya. So, paano natin to gagawin? Since common na ito, so, ilagay mo na siya. Ito siya, copy lang natin. Since ito yung common nila, copy lang natin. Minsan, baliktad siya, no? Baka masanay kasi tayo na yung common laging nandito sa unahan. Okay? Pero minsan, ganyan po siya. So, ito, common sila. Copy lang natin and then, copy lang natin si 7a minus c. Okay? So, ayan po siya. Ayun. Okay, next. So, same procedure. Copy natin yung common nila, common factor, that is n plus 3. Ayun. And then, copy lang natin ito. So, 8m plus p. Okay. Okay, now let's proceed to the next special products, no? Ito yung isa sa mga paraan pa on how to factor the difference of two squares. Okay? So, difference of two squares, since meron tayo ditong squares, ibig sabihin, if x and y are real numbers or variables or algebraic expression, then we will have x squared minus y squared. Anong ibig sabihin nito? Difference of two squares siya, y difference, kasi the operation is minus. And then, two squares, so ibig sabihin, binomial ito. Okay? Kasi dalawa lang. Meron kang 2 squares, so dapat daw, itong way na to ng pagfa-factor is dapat gagamitin mo lang to kapag ang given mo ay 2 square. So, dapat square ito, masi-square mo to or perfect square siya. Ganon din yung second term mo, dapat perfect square. Okay? So, difference of 2 perfect squares. Yan. Okay? So, dapat perfect square yung dalawa. Kapag hindi siya perfect square, etong dalawa, hindi mo pwedeng gamitin itong pattern na to. Okay? So, the difference of 2 square is the product and sum and difference of those terms. So, ito po siya. So, kapag nagfa-factor tayo ng difference of 2 squares, that is actually x plus y times x minus y. So, ito po ang pattern na susundin natin when we are factoring difference of 2 squares. So, hindi mo to pwedeng gamitin kapag hindi perfect squares yung dalawang terms mo dito at hindi siya difference. Okay? So, baka kasi lahat i-apply natin. Hindi po. Kailangan, ito ay gagamitin mo lang kapag perfect square siya pareho. Okay? And difference. Okay. So, ito po yung factors niya. Paano siya naging ganito? Kasi x times x, ayun siya, x squared. Yun yung first term mo. So, pag nakuha mo yung square root nito, yun ang ilalagay mo sa parehong first term ng binomial mo. Next, eto naman, y times y, that is y squared. Ito naman yung second term. Pag nakuha mo yung square root nito, yun ang ilalagay natin dun sa second term natin sa parehong binomial. Okay, so let's have an example. Eto pa. So, bakit siya difference? Kasi positive times negative. So, kapag nagpa-factor tayo ng difference of 2 squares, lagi po yung positive, negative. Positive, negative. Kasi this is difference. So, different signs, negative. Okay? So, yung square root nito, pag nakuha mo, lalagay mo siya sa parehong unahan. Pag nakuha mo yung square root nito, lalagay mo siya sa parehong hulihan. And then, laging plus, minus. Let's have an example. Okay. So, if the given is 9x squared minus 100, kunin natin ang square root nila. So, pag kinuha natin ang square root nila, so let us rewrite the difference of two squares. So, kunin natin ang square root. What is the square root of 9? 3, because 3 times 3 is 9. So, lagay natin si 3. Now, pagdating sa exponent, halimbawa may exponent ka sa loob ng iyong radical sign. So, we are actually dividing it dun sa index. Okay? Yung index, yung dito. This is actually squared. Kapag square root, squared po tayo dyan. Unless merong index dyan, like 3, so hindi na yun square root. Cube root na yun. Okay? So, since wala yan, that means square root. So, kapag may exponent po tayo sa loob, we are actually dividing the exponent dun sa index. So, 2 divided by 2, that is 1. Kaya x to. Okay? So, kunin natin yung square root ni 9, that is 3. Kunin natin yung square root ni x squared, that is x. Okay. And then, sa 100, what is the square root of 100? That is 10. Kasi 10 times 10, that is 100. Now, nakuha na natin yung first, nakuha na natin yung second term. So, ito ngayon ang gagawin natin. This will serve as your first term. Ito ngayon ang ilalagay mo sa parehong first term. At ito ngayon ang ilalagay mo sa parehong last term. Okay? Kaya pag nakuha mo, dapat importante ha, pareho muna silang perfect square. Pag hindi yan parehong perfect square, ang gagamitin mo ay yung nauna, yung kanina, yung by common monomial factor. Yun ang gagamitin mo. But since ito, pareho silang perfect square, so kunin natin yung square root nito, kunin mo yung square root nito, so 3x and 10. Pag nakuha mo na, etong nakuha mo, yan ang ilalagay mo dito sa parehong unahan. Eto naman, yan ang ilalagay mo sa second term ng parehong binomial mo. And take note, since difference nga siya, sabi ko kanina, laging plus, minus. So, lagi yan pareho. Ito lang ang magkaiba dyan. Yung plus and minus mo. So, therefore, the factored form is 3x plus 10 and 3x minus 10. Okay, let's have another. So, I have 4x squared minus 81. So, kunin natin ang square root nila pareho. So, rewrite natin siya. So, we will have, what is the square root of 4? 2. Kasi 2 times 2 is 4. And then, kagaya ng sinabi ko kanina, we are actually dividing the exponent dun sa the index natin na 2. So, to divide 2, that is 1. Kaya x na lang ito. Next, what is the square root of 81? So, 81 is 9 kasi 9 times 9 is 81. So, nakuha na natin yung first at yung second. Ito lalagay natin sa unahan. Okay, copy the first and second term. So, lagay natin siya sa unahan. Lagay natin to sa second term natin. And then, do not forget, it should be plus and minus. Okay? So, therefore, the factored form is 2x plus 9 and 2x minus 9. Another. So, kunin natin ang square root nila. So, what is the square root of 81? That is 9. So, lalagay natin dito 9. And then, 2 divide 2, that is 1. So, ay 1 na lang siya. What is the square root of 4? That is 2. Okay. So, 4 divide 2, that is 2. And then, 6 divide 2, that is 3. So, i-check natin. 2 times 2, that is 4. And then, 3 times 2, that is 6. Okay. So, yun po ang pagkuha ng square root kapag meron tayong exponent sa loob ng ating radical sign. Okay. Next. So, copy natin yung first term at yung second term. Ito si first term. Lagi pong ganon. And then yung second term mo na 2n squared p cube, dun mo siya ilalagay. Okay? And then, do not forget, sum and difference palagi, plus and minus. So, therefore, our factored form is 9m plus 2n squared p cube and 9m minus 2n squared p cube. Okay? So, dito lang siya nagkakaiba palagi. Okay, so let's have another example. What if, so kagaya nito, ma'am, ano siya, pareho naman siyang perfect square, pero hindi siya difference. Paano mo to gagawin? So, di ba sabi ko, make sure, i-check nyo muna kung parehong perfect square at dapat different siya. So, paano mo gagawin to? Pwede mo siya rewrite. Okay, rewrite muna natin as difference of two squares. So, we will have, pwede natin to i-rearrange. So, 25 minus 49x raised to 8. Okay? So, 25 minus 49x raised to 8. So, pwede mo siya i-rewrite. Okay. Now, kunin na natin ang square root nila. So, we will have, what is the square root of 25? That is 5. What is the square root of 49? That is 7. And then 8 divide 2, that is 4. Pag check natin yan, 4 times 2, that is 8. Okay? Now, let us continue. So, meron ka ng first term at meron ka ng last term. Okay, so copy mo na lang yan. So, first term and then last term. Okay, so therefore, our factored form is 5 plus 7x raised to 4 times the quantity of 5 minus 7x raised to 4. Do not forget, it should be sum and difference. Okay? So, when we are factoring difference of two squares, make sure both are perfect squares. And then the operation is difference minus. Okay. Now, how about if you were given sum of two cubes? Okay, paano kung hindi na siya square? Cube na siya. Okay, so paano natin siya gagawin? So, halimbawa, ito, perfect cube siya. So, ito perfect cube din. Okay, susundan lang natin itong pattern na to. So, kagaya kanina, pag difference of two squares, x plus y, x minus y, pag cube na siya, ito naman ngayon. Okay? So, ito, saan natin siya kukunin? Ito po siya. Pag nakuha mo yan, yung first term mo, yung cube ng first term mo, dito mo siya ilalagay. And then yung y, pag nakuha mo yung cube root nung last term mo, dito mo siya ilalagay. Okay? Kagaya kanina dun sa difference of two squares, kinukuha muna natin yung square root. Pag nakuha natin yung square root, yun yung nilalagay natin, 'di ba? Now this time, since cube na siya, kukunin natin yung cube root. At yun ang ilalagay natin dito, eto dito, tapos ilalagay lang ulit natin siya dito. Tapos, itong last term, lalagay mo siya doon. Pagdating dito sa middle term, kung ano yung nandito mo, ita-times natin. Okay? So, yun yung gitna mo, yung middle term, is the product of your first and last term. Okay? So, ito yung first and last term. So, squared natin yan. Squared. Ito. And then this one, yung middle term is the product. Okay? So, ito po siya. So, ito po ang susundin nating pattern. Okay, let's have an example. So, I have here a cube plus 64. So, again, make sure na dapat cube siya pareho. Okay? Now, this time, kapag cube, pwede ka magkaroon ng sum or difference. So, hindi kagaya sa difference of two squares, dapat difference lang talaga yon. This time, pwedeng ang given mo dito ay plus, pwedeng minus. Okay, so mamaya, ituturo ko naman paano kapag difference siya. So, focus muna tayo sa sum of two cubes. Okay, so kunin natin ang cube nilang pareho. So, rewrite natin. So, ito naman, since cube na siya, i-divide na natin siya by 3. So, kanina, by 2, kasi square root. Ito, cube root. So, we are getting now the cube root. So, eto na siya. So, ang matitira na lang is a kasi 3 divided by 3, that is 1. Okay? Now, pagdating dito, what is the cube root of 64? Paano natin siya kukunin? Think of a number na kapag minultiply mo by itself 3 times, the result will be 64 or the product is 64. So, the answer is 4. Why 4? 4 times 4 is 16. 16 times 4 is 64. So, we are multiplying 3 times, no? So, 4 times 4, 16. 16 times 4, 64. So, yun ang ibig sabihin ng cube. Okay, 3 beses na. Okay, nakuha na natin yung first term. Yun yung x natin ngayon. Nakuha na natin yung last term. Yun yung y. Ang gagawin lang natin ngayon is supply lang natin. I-substitute lang natin siya dito. Ito yung pattern natin. So, nakuha mo na yung x, nakuha mo na yung y. So, kunin na natin yung factor niya. So, paano? Substitute lang natin lahat. Ano ang x mo? A. Ano ang y? 4. Ano ang x? Ito. So, a squared. Okay? And then minus, what is your x? A, and then your y is 4. So, ita-times natin to mamaya kasi product ito. And then your y is 4. So, see? Ang ginagawa lang natin, we are just following the pattern. We are just supplying yung mga terms. So, after mo makuha yung cube root, supply mo lang siya dito sa pattern mo. Okay? So, therefore, our factored form is a plus 4, a squared. So, ita-times natin ito. Hindi to pwedeng a4. So, a times 4, that is 4a. And then, 4 squared is 16. Okay? So, ito, since variable naman siya, a squared na siya. And then, ito, since number ito, so, masisimplify pa natin to. 4 squared is 16. So, this is how we factor a sum of two cubes. So, sundan nyo lang yung pattern. After nyo makuha yung cube root, ayan, so isupply nyo lang siya dyan and then simplify. Another example. So, I have here 8b cubed plus 27c cubed. So, kunin natin ang cube root. So, therefore, our cube root, ano ang cube root ni 8? 2. Kasi 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. And then 3 divide 3, that is 1. Kaya this is b na lang. Next, what is the cube root of 27? 3. Because 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. And then yung c natin, 3 divide 3, that is 1 na lang. So, this is only c na lang. Okay? So, now, meron na tayong first term at last term. So, supply lang natin siya dito sa pattern natin. So, we have, what is your x? 2b. What is your y? 3c. X again, 2b. What is your x? 2b. Your y is 3c. Your y again is 3c. So, madali lang siya, di ba? Once na makuha mo na yung cube root nung first and last term mo, isusupply mo lang siya dito. Paulit-ulit lang yan. Okay, now, so what is the factored form? The factored form is 2b plus 3c. And then, since ito ay 2 squared, so 2 times 2 is 4. And then, copy na lang natin to, b squared. Minus, so 2 times 3, that is 6. And then, bc. Plus, 3 squared is 9. and then c squared. Okay, so isa-simplify natin kapag merong number ha. So 2 squared, that is 4, and then 3 squared, that is 9. Okay. Difference of two cubes. So ito na yung sinasabi ko kanina, sum of two cubes. Now this time, difference of two cubes naman. So ano lang ang pagkakaiba nito? Kanina, dun sa given natin, plus yon. And then this is minus. Ito naman, minus na to, ito ay plus. Okay, so yun po ang difference. Kanina, plus, and then minus, yun yung sum of two cubes. Kapag difference of two cubes, ito lang ang magbabago dyan, yung sign mo. Magiging minus lang to, magiging plus to. Okay? So, ganun ulit. Okay, so let's have an example. So, actually, pareho lang, no, yung sum of two cubes at difference of two cubes. Ang pinagkaiba lang nila is yung sign natin. Okay, so let's have an example. So, kunin ulit natin yung cube root ni 27c cube at d cube. So, ano ang factor ni, ano ang cube root ni 27? 3. And then c, so divide lang natin yung exponent dun sa index, that is 1. So, c na lang. And then ito, so di-divide to, 1 na lang. So, d na lang tayo dito. Okay? So, meron na ka ng first term and last term. So, ito naman ang pattern natin ngayon. Kanina, plus, ito, tapos ito ay minus, 'di ba? So, this time, kapag difference na, minus naman to, ito naman ay plus. Ito, hindi ito nagbabago. Okay? So, let's have, okay, so apply na natin. Ano ang x mo? 3c, ang y ay d, x ulit, 3c, yung first term ulit, 3c, yung last term is d, yung last term is d. Okay, so simplify. So what is the factored form? 3c minus d, and then 3 squared, so that is 9, simplify natin yan, and then 9c squared, ito siya. And then 3, wala namang number doon or coefficient, so 3 lang siya. And then cd. And then this one, d squared. So, again, same lang po ito ng sum of two cubes. Ang pagkakaiba lang po, dito lang tayo nagbabago. Yung signs lang po niya. So, same procedure. Another. So, factoring difference of two cubes ulit. So, kunin natin yung cube root niya. So, what is the cube root of 8? That is 2. And then, divide natin to. 3 divide 3, that is 1 na lang. And then 6 divide 3, that is 2. So, pag chinek natin, 2 times 3, ayun siya, 6. Okay? And then 1 times 3, kaya 3. So, ang cube root naman ng 125 is 5 because 5 times 5 is 25. And then 25 times 5, 125. Okay? And then yung g natin, so g na lang siya. So, meron na tayong first term and last term. Supply na natin yung mga terms na yan dito sa ating pattern. So, first term, 2ef squared. Ang last term natin, 5g. First term ulit. First term, last term ulit. Okay. So, we have now, our factored form is 2ef squared minus bg. And then, simplify muna natin to. 2 squared is 4. And then, e squared, kasi ita times mo yan lahat dyan sa exponent. So, e squared and then f raised to 4 kasi 2 times 2 is 4. Next. So, ito ay 2 times 5, that is 10. And then e, copy e, and then f squared, and then g. Now, ito naman, 5 squared. So, 5 times 5, 25. And then g squared. Okay, so this is now our factored form. Okay, let's have this one. So, rewrite ulit natin. Get the cube root of 64, that is 4. And then, cube root of p raised to 6. So, i-divide natin siya. 6 divide 3, so p squared na lang siya. Okay? So, meron na tayong first term and last term. So, supply natin siya dito. We'll have, what is your x? 4. Last term mo is b squared. First term ulit 4. First term, last term, last term. Okay? So, ganun lang lagi ang pattern. Sundan lang ito. And then, let us simplify. So, our factored form is 4 minus p squared, and then 4 squared is 16. Ito is the times natin to. So, 4 times p squared, that is 4p squared. And then, p squared times 2, so p raised to 4. Now, bakit ganito siya? Okay. So, kung babalikan nyo yung difference of two squares, this is actually difference of two squares. So, diba, kapag difference of two squares, kunin mo yung square root nito, that is 2. Kunin mo yung square root nito, p na lang. So, p and p. And then, difference, so sum difference. Okay? So, this is now our factored form. So, pwede pa to i-factor ha. Balikan nyo yung difference of two squares. Ito po siya. So, ito po siya. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you learned something. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell para updated kayo for more video tutorials. This is your guide in learning your math lessons, your Wow Math channel.